James Last, also known as Hansi, born Hans Last, April 17, 1929 – June 9, 2015, was a Bremen-born German composer and big band leader. His happy music made his numerous albums bestsellers in Germany and the United Kingdom. His composition Happy Heart became an international success in interpretations by Andy Williams and Petula Clark. According to British hit singles and albums, he has reportedly sold in excess of 80 million albums worldwide. Last was born to Louis and Martha Last in Bremen, Germany. He was the younger brother of Robert Last and Werner Last, aka Kai Warner. His father was an official at the Postal and Public Works Department of the city of Bremen, and he grew up in the suburb of Sebaldsbrück. He learned to play the piano from the age of 10. Though he could play simple tunes like the German folk song Hänschen, Klein when he was 9. His first music teacher felt he lacked any musical talent. He started playing more actively with the help of his second tutor at the age of 10 and switched to double bass as a teenager. His home city was heavily bombed in World War II, and he ran messages to air defense command posts during raids. At 14 he was entered in the Bückeburg Military Music School of the German Wehrmacht, where he learned to play brass, piano, and tuba. After the fall of the Nazis, he joined Hans Günther Oesterreich's Radio Bremen Dance Orchestra in 1946. In 1948, he became the leader of the Last Becker Ensemble, which performed for 7 years. During that time, he was voted as the best bassist in the country by a German jazz poll for 3 consecutive years, from 1950–1952. After the Last Becker Ensemble disbanded, he became the in-house arranger for Polydor Records, as well as for a number of European radio stations. For the next decade, he helped arrange hits for artists like Helmut Zacharias, Freddie Quinn, Lolita, Alfred Haus, and Caterina Valenti. Last first released albums in the U.S. under the titles The American Patrol on Warner Brothers around 1964. He also released a series of 9 albums in a series called Classics Up to Date Volumes 1–9, which served up arrangements of classical melodies with strings, rhythm, and wordless chorus from the mid-1960s through the early 1980s. Last released an album, Non-Stop Dancing, in 1965, a recording of brief renditions of popular songs, all tied together by an insistent dance beat and crowd noises. It was a hit and helped make him a major European star. Over the next 4 decades, Last released over 190 records, including several more volumes of Non-Stop Dancing. On these records, he varies his formula by adding different songs from different countries and genres, as well as guest performers like Richard Clayderman and Astrud Gilberto. He also had his own successful television series in the 1970s with guests ABBA and Lindsay DePaul. Though his concerts and albums are consistently successful, especially in the UK, where he had 52 hit albums between 1967 and 1986, which made him second only to Elvis Presley in charting record citation needed, he has had relatively few hit singles. In the UK, his only chart singles were The Seduction, the theme from American Gigolo, 1980, composed by Giorgio Moroder, and Biscaya from the album Biscaya. In the US, where The Seduction became a top 40 hit, peaking at number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 22 on the Adult Contemporary chart in May 1980, Last was somewhat more successful on the singles charts. In 2003, his song Einsamer, The Lonely Shepherd, which features the pan flute of George Zamfir, appeared on the soundtrack of the Quentin Tarantino movie Kill Bill, Volume 1. He has won numerous popular and professional awards, including Billboard Magazine's Star of the Year trophy in 1976, and has been honored for Lifetime Achievement with the German Echo Prize in 1994. His song Music from Across the Way, recorded by Andy Williams in 1972, is a melody with a classical feeling and was a worldwide hit. It is the only other Last single apart from The Seduction to reach the US Hot 100, where it peaked at number 84, and number 18 on the Adult Contemporary chart, in late 1971. His only other US chart single was a double-sided entry featuring remakes of the Village Stompers' Washington Square and Creedence Clearwater Revival's Proud Mary, which reached number 22 on the adult contemporary chart in early 1971. Last was awarded the Carl Allen Award by Princess Margaret for being the leader of the most popular dance band of 1981. Last has a large fan base in Europe and elsewhere. His trademark is big band arrangements of pop music hits. His series of party albums is equally well known. Over the course of his career, he has sold well over 100 million albums. In the United States, Last's music was a staple of the mainly instrumental-based beautiful music radio format for years. Songs composed by Last which achieved success in the US include Happy Heart and Music from Across the Way, both recorded by Andy Williams, Games That Lovers Play, recorded by Eddie Fisher, and Fool, recorded by Elvis Presley. Personal life. Last divided his time between Florida and Hamburg with his second wife Christine. He gave much credit to Christine and son Ronald, who helped with his music. His first wife was Waltraud, whom he married in 1955, and they had 2 children, son Ronald and daughter Katerina. Waltraud died in 1997. James Last died on June 9, 2015 in Florida, aged 86.